Hello, it's night time and I'm having a Slurpee. Cheers. My voice seems to be going. Night time, that's what it does sometimes. Have to excuse me, I need to turn my back on you. I'll turn my little fan off. I need to answer this question now because if I don't, then I'll lose whatever's in my head, really. This is another one of my thoughts, although it's quite a personal one, and it's to answer a particular question to a particular person, really, but others may benefit from it, who knows. So if you forgive me for turning and all the rest of it. So this person's name begins with HT. You know you are. So HT, he'd like my thoughts on his position in life, his predicament in life, really, which is quite a difficult one. So, he says, "Hey Bri, I'm heavily addicted to cannabis and I try to manage, in inverted commas, my mental health and depression. But like you, I've gone through a lot as a child that is affecting me now. I use it every day to cope with mental health and depression. Could you do a video on how to cope and ways of slowly getting off it? I don't leave the house, I hate socialising, I am very withdrawn and solitary. It's sort of sending me crazy, to be honest. A video response would help. Much love." Well, much love to you as well, HT. I responded with, "I will during the coming week. But please know that managing your depression by smoking isn't managing at all. The cannabis will be adding to your depression, keeping you trapped down there." He knows what I mean by that. "It is time to rethink how you are managing things, but there is hope and there is a way through. There always is. Take care and smoke a little less each day until you see a video from me, okay?" Now, I knew that he'd take that in good faith and all the rest of it. Depends on how stoned he is at the time. So HT responded, "Thanks for your reply, Bri. I agree it doesn't help, but it makes everything go away for a while and I have no other way of chilling out and relaxing. I'm trying my best to smoke less, but it is so hard battling. Thanks, I shall wait for the video soon. Thank you so much." So HT. So you said a lot there, really, HT. And you'd like my thoughts, really, on what's going on. I think I'm right in saying, you know, that you think you're managing your mental health and your depression and you're not managing it very well, are you? If you're smoking, it's called dope for a reason, because it dopes you up, we know that. So that takes the edge off of whatever you're feeling, how pissed off, how low, how depressed you're feeling. That takes the edge off of that. But it's not dealing with it, it's not managing it. It's nullifying it, it's taking the edge off of it. It's, "I'll be with you in a minute, Bode." I meant to get him a drink and forgot. It's parking it for a few moments, if you know what I mean, then it comes back, and it always will. So you're not managing at all, not in the slightest. I don't believe you're managing. I don't know what mental health issues you've got, but you're not managing anything really by smoking cannabis. What I say in this video you won't want to hear, because I've been there and I had some well-meaning people. I am well-meaning, by the way. I'm not having a go, I'm not having a dig, I'm not having a pop, I'm not calling you stupid or whatever. You've asked my opinion and here's my opinion. I had some very well-meaning people over the years give me some decent advice, their thoughts, their opinions. I could have listened to them at any time and I chose not to. I chose drugs actually over common sense and thoughts and opinions and ideas and love and caring. I chose drugs over all of that. I don't or didn't have those conversations to re-listen to when I'm feeling slightly better, when I'm less stoned, first thing in the morning when things are fresh. I didn't have that. You have. So I hope that this video you will replay a couple more times. I hope you do. You may be angry, you may be pissed off, whatever, but I hope that you will replay it, because I don't mean anything nasty, but I will say you are not managing your depression. You're not managing it. You're just hiding it away in a cloud of smoke. When the smoke clears, the depression is still there. So you've got to really cut down at least. Now, it must be costing you a fortune. You say you don't leave the house, you don't go socialise, and I wonder how much you spend on drugs, really, because how can you socialise if you're going to spend all your money on drugs? You can't. There's no way out, is there? And by not doing that, by not leaving the house, by not socialising, you then say, I'm very withdrawn and solitary. Well, of course you are. If you don't leave the house and if you don't socialise, then that becomes the new norm. A bit like me, the reclusive side of me becomes the norm. You know, I have days where I don't speak to a single living soul. And I don't mean days, I mean days. 3 or 4 days will go by. Hello, darling. Listen, I'm going to get you drinking just 1 more minute. I'm doing a video for my friend HT. All right. Hopefully you're my friend anyway. You probably won't be after this video, but I hope you take some of it on board. No, you say it's sending you crazy. You know that. You know that it's not really working because you've said that. So what are you doing it for? You're just taking the edge off. Now, the only way that I can advise you really is it's baby steps, and that's the same with everything in life, every last thing. If you're 30 stone, if you want to lose weight, if you want to get down to 15 stone, the only way of doing it is slow and steady. Slow and steady, that's the only way of doing it. Because if you go on a major diet, or in your case, cut out smoking altogether, whatever. So if you're that big and you've got on a major diet, you end up craving food, you sneak downstairs at midnight and you eat everything out of the fridge. You never lose weight, in fact you put weight on. So the only way is slow and steady. So if you're eating a big meal off of a big plate, change it for a tea plate. Instead of having 40 or 50 chips and 6 sausages, have 25 chips and 4 sausages. And then 2 weeks later have 10 chips and 2 sausages, 5 chips and 1. That is how anything works in life, especially addiction. Especially addiction. You need to wean yourself off of things. You need to slow it down. Just slow it down. Now, I would recommend that you do it by time. So allow yourself to smoke it between this time and that time. I don't know you, I don't know, I mean, you say you smoke it all the time, so I'm assuming first thing in the morning, right until last thing at night. So could you not smoke it until 10 AM, the first hour or two, go for a walk, have a Slurpee, have a shower, do something, do whatever, prepare your evening meal, tidy up, look after yourself in some other way, do some meditation, do some stretching, relaxation techniques, do some yoga, do something for an hour or two, and then have your first one at 10 or 11 o'clock. If you're going to go to bed at midnight, could you not have one after 11 o'clock? Finish at 11 or 10. You know what's right for you. You know what you can cope with. You know, one less spliff a day can make all the difference. 2 will make all the difference. 4 definitely makes all the difference. So do that. Do baby steps. And also, if you can, try and put something in its place. When we lose something, we feel like we've lost the world. When we exchange things, things are easier to cope with. So instead of having a spliff, read a couple of paragraphs of a book, go out for a walk, spend longer in the bath, make a phone call to a friend. Do something, put something in its place. Could be anything, you know. Play a game, a computer game if you've got that, you know. Watch a DVD and don't smoke during that DVD. You've got an hour and a half that you don't smoke, you know. But put something in its place, and by losing it you won't feel like you've lost the world. You just lost that thing for a while. That's all it is. I hope that's helped. I'm not sure. It probably won't have helped really, because on one hand you want to hear things and on the other you don't. No, you haven't said that, but I've been there and I know. People gave me advice, they gave me opinions, and I was very grateful. But there was a part of my brain saying, oh, piss off, you know. But if you're not managing your depression, then it's going to get worse. And what's happening is, of course, that's what the cannabis is doing. It's making it worse because you're not dealing with it. You're not managing it. You're not going, psst, you're not a little pressure, letting off that little bit of steam. You're not doing that. So the cannabis is keeping it heavy, keeping it down and weighed down and weighed down, and even more and more and more. Therefore, now you've got a long, long way to go. But in life, you see, you get two things in life. And these two things, they will always be there, you know. Two things in life. My brain has just suddenly gone shot, innit? Anyway, whatever. I forgot where I was going totally with that, so sorry about that. I was going to say something like, in life you get two things. I can't remember the first one, but the second one is hope. That will never leave you. You've always got hope. So work on that. Work on these baby steps. Work on this time scale. Okay, I can only do this between this time and that time. And then shorten that time. And shorten it again, then again. You know, but put something in its place so that you don't really miss it. And know that even if it's difficult, by not having one or two spliffs in the evening, even though that's difficult, that is leading you on to have a clearer, fresher mind in the morning. So the depression will be lifting away from you. So you're doing yourself good. Every spliff you have, you're doing yourself harm. You said you had a bad childhood. You're keeping yourself a victim. That's what you're doing. You're keeping yourself a victim. And we all do it. Everybody does it. I don't know why we do, but we do. You keep yourself a victim, and the cannabis is the catalyst. The cannabis is between what's happened to you when you was a child and moving on as an adult. You've got this block called cannabis, and you're not prepared to let that go. It has to go. It has to go. How can you move on otherwise? There's a life out there. There's a big world out there. You know, there's all sorts out there waiting for you if you want it. But it sounds like you do, because at least you've reached out and you've said, you know, what can I do? Well, it's baby steps. So it's smoke less, smoke only during certain times, fill that empty space with something else, something good, something positive. And remember, you've got hope. You've got hope on your side. Grab your life now, you know, because sadly it's going to be over one of these days. You're going to be laid on your deathbed and think, for X number of years I sat indoors watching telly in a cloud of smoke. I thought that was a life. And it's going to be too late. One day it'll be too late. Today it's not too late. Today you can change your life. You can change it now. For you, now. Right now. Tonight. Watching this. You can change it. Please watch this video again and come up with your own plan. Write lists, write what you can do. Don't bother about the negative, what you can't do, because you know you're going to know that anyway. What can you do? What can you implement into your life? What can you put into your life? Do you want to get fitter? Give up the cannabis and what? Get fitter. Give up the cannabis and read a book. Give up the cannabis and, you know, whatever. There must be something. There's probably 100 things. I presume you don't work because you said you smoke it all the time. So maybe that's your next step, is to look for work. Maybe that's an option for you, you know. And again, without baby steps, work part-time, maybe even volunteer. You know, you will find your way through, I'm sure you will. And at the end of the day, you have hope. That's what you have, you know. And you're clearly prepared to make a start. Just by leaving that message there for me, you're prepared to make a start. What else did you say? So you don't leave the house, you hate socialising. Well, you don't have to leave the house, not really, and you don't have to socialise. You can leave the house on your terms though, go for a little walk. But leave your tobacco at home, leave everything at home and go for a walk. And maybe do that, maybe walk longer. Each day of this coming week, another 10 minutes, then another 10, then another 10. By the end of the week, that's 2.5 hours. So you haven't smoked for probably 3 hours. And if you've had a nice long bath before that, it's probably 4 hours. And if you prepared your evening meal, then it's 5 hours. And if you limit that time, that means you can only now smoke between the hours of what, 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. Something like that. Enough for 2 spliffs. And if you can make that 1.5, that's the way to do it, that's the way to go. I hope that's helped in some way. It is difficult when drugs get hold of you like that, because we tell ourselves that we're managing, we're using the drug. That clearly tells me the drug is using you. So you've lost yourself. You're not using, you say you're using cannabis, cannabis is using you. You're not that weak. You're not that weak. You are not that weak that cannabis is going to win over you. I'm sure you're not. Take care and be well. Cheers.